Hey guys, so this is that third part to adding notes to your notebook. This will be the last part as far as teaching you guys how it works and the things that you guys can do. And the next part, I'll go ahead and show what it looks like as far as on the student's end. But now that you've created your digital notebook and you created your notes, let's go ahead and now share those notes to our students using the link that we need so our students can download them. Okay, so there is going to be definitely more than one way to do this. I like using Google Slides for my presentations, but you guys are more than welcome to use whatever program you like to use to present to your students. I'm going to use Google Drive, obviously, a Google Drive direct link generator, my Google Classroom, and finally Kami. So that first step is going to be pulling up your presentation that you want students to access. Once again, you don't need to use Google Slides, but I like using it for ease of access. You'll see that I have already created a document just to go ahead and kind of get that ball rolling. No matter what it is that you're using, you do want to make sure that you always have that designated page so students know exactly where to go to get a copy of their notes. Because I downloaded those PNG files earlier and saved them to my desktop, I can simply just drag and drop it into my Google presentation, size it to fit, but don't feel like you need to be incredibly fancy. You'll see that this is my Photoshop design. This is my Google Docs design. You could just as easily add an image. You just want to make sure you have those directions for students so that they know what it is that they're doing. Okay, so that's my presentation. I'm going to keep it up there because I still want to add those links. So that next step is going to be to go back to our Google Drive and get the original link to the files so that I can then generate them into a downloadable copy. Okay, so those are my two notes. That's my Google Docs one, and this is the one I made using Photoshop. We're going to explore around with the Photoshop one. So I want to go ahead and first share the file so that anyone who has access to the link has access to the file itself. You want to make sure that you don't have any restrictions on it, because if you do, then it's not going to work. Okay, so now anyone with the link is going to be able to use this file. I can copy that link. And now that I have the link, my next step is going to be to generate it into a downloadable link. So I'm going to head to this site. I simply found them just through Google. So shout out to them. That link that I just copied from my Google Drive, I can paste it in here and create my direct link. Okay, so this is it. I now want to copy my brand new link. And now that I have my brand new link, I do want to put it into that Google Slides, the part that I had it before. It was with the Photoshop copy. So let's go ahead and now link that. Now you'll see my students have access to that. And finally, I do want to go into Google Classroom to now publish and post my presentation. And you'll see that I went ahead and already published that. So now my students have their notebook and the lesson that I want them to access. And this is going to be that presentation that I just created and showed you guys. Okay, so now students are going to have access to the presentation. They have access to their digital notebook. In the last video I'm going to show you guys, it's going to be what it looks like as far as from a student's end, as downloading and inserting that image into their digital notebook.